Thank you, Cornelius. Yes, it's got pretty murky over on the far side, hasn't it? And Lady Wilhelmina, the black and white with the yellow sleeves and cap for Richie McClernand, for Nick Schofield and Sue Howell. This time they take a right turn and pass us on the way round to the 2-mile starting point, back where we began the afternoon on the right-hand far corner of the racecourse. Lady Wilhelmina canters off ahead of her 11 rivals. Next down the walkway is number 3, Across Earth, under Freddie Mitchell for Aura Racing, and Gary and Josh Moore, colours of green and black for Across Earth. Glorious Lion, number 10, Shane Fenlon in the red and white silks of Moorland Racing for Sarah Jane Davis. Then in the pink and black, Connor Ring aboard Baikal for Grace Harris, the colours of Michelle Harris. The black and light blue starred silks, El Gavilan, Richard Patrick for Clive Boltby Brooks, El Gavilan number 4, followed by Cogital number 5, the blue and red for Jay Tidball for Alex James and Bernard Llewellyn. Black and light blue colours of 7 following chapter, Johnny Burke for Black, Jones, Spires and Hartwell and Alistair Ralph. Then Renoir number 1, the red and beige stars for Toby McCain Mitchell for the Octavians 5 and Ben Clark. Grisha, double chasing pair of Darren McConville and Charlie Longston, represented by the filly in the colours of Run Like a Girl, the pink and green. Then Galactic Glow in the white and blue with the check sleeves and cap, Ben Godfrey for the Clueless Syndicate and Joe Tickle. Black and yellow with the purple sleeves, One Cool Dreamer, Tom Bellamy for the Maple Street Partnership and Alan King. In the noseband, number 12, Silk Bird, Charlie Hammond riding for Royston Morgan Evans and Max Young, the purple, yellow and light green. So most of the runners well on their way round to the 2-mile starting point for the Hereford Quarries Handicap hurdle. No scheduled delay to this race, so we are due off at 3:55, which is a couple of minutes away. And as they make their way round, Renoir just favoured at the moment, a shade bigger than 2-1, but only a fraction shorter than Grisha, who's about 9-4, 2.25-1. Following chapter, a little bigger than 3-1 at the moment. Across Earth has been on the drift, 6-1 out to 8-1. One Cool Dreamer, 9-1 out to 11-1. Same price now as Baikal. Galactic Glow at 25-1, 28-1 generally for El Gavilan. Cogital at 50-1. Lady Wilhelmina 60-60s, 100s for Glorious Lion. And Silk Bird, another who could be back to the 3-figure price, in her case at around 125-1. So very little separating Renoir and Grisha at the head of the betting for the finale. Most of them now at the start. Well, good luck in the last. Hope you've enjoyed the day despite the weather. Do have a safe journey home, and very much hope we can welcome you back in a couple of weeks' time. As Cornelius was explaining, it is Venetia Williams race day here on Tuesday the 25th. So runners assembling at the start for the last here at Hereford. Reasonably competitive looking handicap hurdle coming up, isn't it? Renoir's just arriving at the start. Lots of new things for him. Tongue strap, cheek pieces. Toby McCain Mitchell, who's been making a good name for himself this autumn. So wouldn't be at all surprising to see him go well. A couple of these easy to back. Grisha at the back of the picture there. The other is vying for favouritism. She's a talented filly at a low level. It's keenness which held her back in the early part of her career, but she's been looking much more the thing this summer. Whether she would have been appreciating the ease in the ground with all the rain that's falling, and it is pouring down again now, is another matter. But as I say, she has improved since she's become a little bit more tractable, Grisha. Looks as though Renoir and Rainbow Dreamer, or One Cool Dreamer, are going to be ridden prominently here. Across Earth, the Moors representative, long journey from Sussex to the Welsh borders. Across Earth, the green and black colours lining up upsides Lady Wilhelmina. and El Gavilan in the stars. Looks as though he might be dropped in. Well, the flags are now raised, and they are beginning a steady approach towards the tapes at the exit from the back straight. 12 of them coming forward at the moment. Renoir and One Cool Dreamer to the fore with following chapter. So we're not far from a start. In they come, and they're off. Jumped away over 2 miles in the Hereford Quarries Handicap hurdle, and Renoir has jumped out in front under Toby McCain-Mitchell, giving a lead to the likes of One Cool Dreamer. You might just spot the yellow star on the cap as they arrive at the first, watching the leaders over neatly enough. And they all took it fairly fluently. Following chapter with the light blue sleeves and cap is handy. So too across Earth down on the inner in the black and green. Slipstream by Galactic Glow, and then Lady Wilhelmina with a yellow cap just ahead of the nose-banded El Gavilan. Glorious Line in the red and white is wide into the first turn. Working back to Baikal in a black and pink jacket, upsides Cogital. Silk Bird, another who sports a sheepskin noseband, is in the final pair as they turn on in with the held-up Grisha, pink silks for Johnny Burke. Renoir leading them at the second. Hops over nimbly, ahead of Across Earth on the left. Following chapter on the right, and One Cool Dreamer between that pair. Then Galactic Glow to Lady Wilhelmina and El Gavilan and Glorious Lion on the near side. To Baikal and Cogital, who's in the blue and red. And Grisha and Silk Bird racing in the final pair in a well-grouped field as they head along the side of the course and fairly quickly on to the third flight. Renoir in pretty grim conditions for all participants, leading to Across Earth right down on the inner, hurdling that one slickly. Just ahead of One Cool Dreamer and Galactic Glow in the cheek pieces, and then following chapter to Lady Wilhelmina and El Gavilan, Glorious Lion and Baikal to Cogital and Grisha, and lastly Silk Bird. On the run up the side of the course, on the approach to the fourth and nearing the halfway point, Renoir over Across Earth to One Cool Dreamer, the star on the cap, and Galactic Glow in the cheek pieces. They're pretty much disputing third. Following chapter wide of that duo as they rise. El Gavilan a little awkward in midfield, outjumped by Lady Wilhelmina. And Grisha, who hurdled fluently there and is making quite significant progress into midfield. The pink silks, pink and light green, up into about 6th or 7th position now as they swing across the back straight. In the back third at present, El Gavilan, having slipped back a position or two after that mistake, is racing just ahead of Baikal, Glorious Lion, Cogital and Silk Bird. Renoir taken on by Across Earth at the first of the pair of flights on the far side. One Cool Dreamer, Galactic Glow close up, and Grisha now coming to join the leading line. If anything, she's rather tugged her way there. Field beginning to thin out in behind. Glorious Lion has dropped back to be last. Cogital is last but one as Silk Bird makes up a couple of positions. El Gavilan is another who's lost ground, and Grisha is in front at the third last, just ahead of Across Earth. Renoir's been relegated to 5th and is now being pushed along. One Cool Dreamer third. Galactic Glow has taken 4th, but he's shaken along. Then back in 6th place, Baikal to following chapter, who's lost a bit of ground, and Grisha, having got to the front down the far side, has really stretched this field out. Across Earth is chasing as they run down the side of the course towards the second last. One Cool Dreamer in third place is in touch. Grisha flicking through the top ahead of Across Earth and One Cool Dreamer. And then a gap to Baikal and Renoir, who's hanging on in there at one pace, back in 5th, just ahead of following chapter. Grisha down into the dip, on the run back towards home, just the one to jump. Across Earth is the nearest pursuer. One Cool Dreamer has dropped 5-6 lengths off them, back in third, ridden along ahead of Renoir, and now Across Earth coming wide of Grisha but mounting the challenge. They're locked together on the approach to their final flight. Grisha on the left, Across Earth on the right, then One Cool Dreamer, Baikal and Renoir. Across Earth jumping on at the last from Grisha. They're miles clear of the others, and Across Earth beginning to assert now as they race into the last 100 yards, being nudged out by Freddie Mitchell to make sure, but Across Earth staying on powerfully and has come clear of Grisha in the closing stages. Renoir is going to be third, and a rallying following chapter in 4th ahead of One Cool Dreamer.